Welcome to Stoic Journal, your daily guide to Stoicism. We're often told to be nice to others and put their needs ahead of our own. But are we ever told about the dangers of being too compassionate and kind in our society? It's not always guaranteed to reciprocate. Many generous individuals realize that they're being drained both emotionally and financially. Could being overly compassionate endanger our own security? Be prepared for the negative consequences that may result from showing excessive kindness. I'm going to discuss with you today 9 unfavorable consequences that could arise from being overly kind. Number 1. Your hopes for people will be too high. The Stoics recommended not depending on other people to make us happy, and instead accepting things as they are. Giving without expecting anything in return helps people avoid disappointment and develop emotional distance, which calms the mind. Whether we like to admit it or not, it's difficult to give with total selflessness. We expect the same generosity from others when we give everything we have. But when we are in need, we have conditioned people to assume that everything would be taken care of for them, which makes them take things for granted. Why would you give people priority if you can't even efficiently manage your own life? In reality, your hopes for reciprocity may go unfulfilled, leaving you with negative emotions like fatigue, anger, and sadness. But objectively, people aren't failing you. They're simply focusing on their own responsibilities, just as you should be doing. Number 2. People will only expect you to give them something. Stoics place a strong emphasis on acting morally and sensibly as opposed to just complying with social pressures. Giving in moderation and in a balanced manner keeps you in control of your behavior and helps you avoid bad habits that could impair your mental health. You've heard all your life that people have a tendency to stick to routines and habits. Well, it's true what they say. People adjust themselves to familiar environments and patterns naturally. This tendency toward change leads to the idea of the comfort zone. As a result, people you assist will learn to expect continuous support from you if you're continuously offering. This may cause them to become overly dependent on you and disregard their own responsibilities. You can't expect others to put your needs first if you don't prioritize yourself. The people you help may not encourage you to consider your own well-being, as they benefit from your generosity. However, this one-sided giving could ultimately harm them in the long run. Number 3. Your goals won't be considered. Stoics place a strong emphasis on living by virtue and reason, as well as creating boundaries, in order to preserve equilibrium and prevent our identity and well-being from being overshadowed by those of others. Putting the needs of others before your own could cause you to retreat from inner conflicts that worry and terrify you. Think about how it makes you feel to come home every day to an empty house, or to spend weekends alone. If you're doing other things solely to get away from yourself, it can have a significant effect. You will eventually have to face your inner demons. And in the interim, your bad feelings can get worse since you are putting other people's needs before your own. For overall wellness, self-care is essential. Before you can uplift others, you must ensure you're contempered and well-nurtured. Essentially, you shouldn't give someone a treat unless you've relished it yourself first. Similarly, don't offer to tidy up a friend's home until you've tidied your own and indulged in a relaxing evening with a movie and wine. Your well-being should take precedence before attending to the needs of others. Number 4. People will think you are weak and treat you that way. Setting limits and exercising discipline are 2 ways that Stoicism advises us to use to prioritize strength and self-control. By proving our commitment to our own responsibilities and values, we gain respect rather than being perceived as weak. Overindulging and helping people on a regular basis could mistakenly position you as an authority in that field. However, if boundaries aren't established, the reverse outcome might happen. People might think of you as weak, as someone who can't refuse requests. As a result, people might trust you to take on their responsibilities since they know you won't say no. However, if you use the word no to establish yourself, people start to view you differently and respect you in a way they hadn't previously. Stoicism emphasizes the value of knowledge and wisdom. By exercising self-restraint and perspective in choosing whom to assist, we can differentiate between genuine individuals and those seeking advantage, thereby conserving our time and energy for endeavors that truly matter. People who once valued your friendship might suddenly seek your company only when they need something. Reflecting on it logically, it's not improbable, considering that most people don't socialize with their colleagues outside of work. While the situation may seem logical, it doesn't necessarily equate to fairness. Number 5. You'll only attract people who want something from you, and never those who want to give. We can establish sincere and mutually productive connections by using patient judgment. People come into our lives when their energies harmonize with our own. However, when we're short on energy, we draw in gloomy, melancholy people who have bad intentions. On the other hand, when we are feeling well, we attract people who are positive, kind, energetic, hardworking, and happy. As a result, when we give to everyone without distinction, we exhaust our energy reserves and lower our vibration frequency. This draws in people in need as well as opportunists who want to take advantage of us without giving anything back. Number 6. You might end up becoming addicted to something. The Stoics encouraged people to retain composure and self-control. By exercising self-control when giving, we can avoid developing bad habits and preserve a positive connection with our choices and behaviors. Our need for something rises as scarcity enters our daily lives, and this is frequently a sign of addiction. Therefore, it's possible that someone close to you will eventually catch you binge drinking, eating too much, or gambling too much. It's important to pay attention to what people who are close to you are saying, even if your first instinct is to defend yourself and deny any issues. When people are too preoccupied with their problems to acknowledge their difficulties, they frequently react defensively. Always remember that those who care about you have your best interests at heart, so listen carefully to their advice, as they're trying to help you avoid pitfalls and progress forward. Number 7. You'll make people stop and think. Being Stoic teaches us to put doing good above all else, no matter what other people think. We build a solid reputation that is resilient to unjustified charges when we conduct in a way that is consistent with our beliefs and values. The truth is that there aren't many truly compassionate individuals in the world, despite our desire for it to be otherwise. As a result, if you're truly kind, people could start to doubt your intentions rather than being impressed or thankful. Soon, your good deeds may prompt people to assume about hidden intentions or unsaid plots. It's possible to run into a bunch of people who are suspicious, but it's more likely that they are just wary. Reluctant helpers are frequently motivated by something else, so it's best to keep your distance and turn them down. Number 8. Failure to set boundaries. Stoicism places a strong emphasis on the value of preserving inner peace and exercising reasoned control over one's emotions. Being overwhelming may make you forget to establish the proper boundaries in partnerships or other circumstances that call for assertiveness. Neglecting to set limits may lead to mistreatment, bitterness, or a drop in social standing. Number 9. Dishonesty and insincerity. In one's relationships with others, Stoicism emphasizes sincerity and genuineness. In an attempt to avoid disagreement or discomfort, being overly polite might result in insincerity or dishonesty. Relationship trust and integrity may be damaged as a result, since people may see your generosity as manipulative or fake rather than as sincere sympathy or care. In summary, while Stoicism advocates for kindness and benevolence, it also warns against excessive kindness that may compromise self-reliance. Boundary setting and honesty. Balancing kindness with assertiveness, honesty, and maintaining personal boundaries is essential for practicing Stoic virtues effectively. The middle ground is always the best approach for most things, and generosity is no different. If we give too little, we might seem selfish and greedy, but if we give too much, we'll end up depleted of energy, time, and likely money too. So it's best to aim for a balance where we neither prioritize others' needs over our own, nor neglect them entirely. And if you ever find yourself unsure, just remember the magic word "no." If this video has helped you, made you think, or taught you something, please give it a thumbs up. This will help more people discover the benefits of Stoic wisdom. Subscribe for your daily guide to Stoicism and personal growth.